have 6 months to make enough to move out of my parents' house with my dog and live by myself. And I also want to pursue an art career. Let's talk about that. Hello, I'm Valkyria, and this is the Sketchbook Talk. This is a section where I pretty much talk without a script. So if anything makes sense, it's probably a miracle. Today we're gonna talk about what's going on in my life a bit, and if you should or not pursue an art career. Now, if you grew up like I did, you have heard all your life that art it's unstable, that you will never make it a living out of it, and blah 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 blah. And I don't think anything is stable right now. Like, have you seen the economy? Have you seen how hard it is to get a fucking job? Like, to be honest, I've been struggling with that a lot. And I recently landed a job that it's in a call center. Now, if you are from the Philippines or from Colombia, and I think this also applies to whole Latin America, but I'm not sure. I know the Philippines works similar. But working in a call center, it's like your go-to if you need money fast and a secure job. It's not the most fashionable, it's not like your dream job. I don't really know anyone that dreams of working at a call center, but it's very good in terms of the benefits that you get and in terms of the salary and the stability, because you have in Colombia we call it undefined term contract, which is pretty much a contract that says you can work here until the day you die, and we're gonna pay you your health insurance. They are even gonna cover my dog health insurance, so that's wonderful. And the salary, it's a very good one. Like, it's enough for me to live by myself with kimchi. And I'm moving in, and I'm planning on moving with some roommates to make the rent cheaper. So, like, the salary, it's actually very good. And I know people that they make a living out of what they do in the call center, because the base salary, it's enough to live by yourself, but on top of that you get bonuses. So if you make more sales, I don't really know how it works, I think it depends on the campaign, but you can make a lot of money there. And the trap is that it kind of sucks your soul. I mean, I'm willing to do that because I honestly think it's funny to try to take like an angry customer and turning into a happy one. I worked in a call center before and I managed to do that more than once. So I have faith in myself. I have faith that I can make this work. But at the same time, it's not my dream job, you know? And I would really like to have a stability and my dream job. And I know it's possible. But I also know that it's gonna take time. And right now, I need to save a lot of money every month in order to leave my parents' house, because not going into many details, but the situation right now is not the best. Like, my current situation with them, it's a bit tricky. I'm gonna go with that word because I have no idea how to describe it, not even in Spanish. I don't feel safe, so that's why I'm deciding to move out of my parents' house. I landed a job at a call center and they pay well, but at the same time, it's not what I want to do. And a friend of mine reminded me that this is actually a temporal job. It's while I find a way to make a living out of my art. That can be dance classes, or prints, I don't know, books, digital marketing, working virtually for a US company or a company that is established in Canada, the US, the UK, Australia, and that pays a competitive salary compared to those that are being paid in Colombia. Or I can get work as a video editor, I can get work as a freelance graphic designer or something like that. Like, so this is more like a temporal job while I make a living out of my art, because I know I will. I'm decided and I am stubborn. So I trust that I'm gonna make a living out of my art. I don't think I'm gonna make it like enough to survive in less than 6 months. I've seen people do it, but I really don't think that's the rule. I think they are more the exception. And I like to believe that I could be the exception, but I fall for that trap before. If you set goals that are too high, you're gonna feel bad when you don't achieve them. And that's actually something that I learned the hard way, because before I started, I don't remember if it was an Instagram account or a YouTube channel. I've had multiple of both, and I was expecting like everyone like to get 100 followers or 1 million followers in no time, 2 months tops. That clearly didn't happen, and there's a reason. The videos weren't that good, the content wasn't that good, and it takes time. I also have to identify what I want to offer, because I'm still thinking about it. I know I want it to be storytelling related, and I'm not sure if I want to go for the writing route or for the visual storytelling route. I'm probably gonna go for the visual one. But then there's the division. It can go for comics, it can go for illustrations, it can go for illustration for novels that are not comics. I don't know which one is the correct word for that. I don't even know the correct word in Spanish, so I'm just gonna put a visual cue here. Those are like, they all use the same principles, but I should focus on one in order to get to my target audience faster. And right now I'm writing a fic with a few friends, and it's a one shot, and the word limit is 10k. So probably I'm gonna go a bit over that, because I know myself. I'm gonna try to stay in the 10k. I think that it can be a very interesting exercise to take that one shot and turn it into a sign that not only works as like to showcase my writing style and my art style and illustrations, and probably make some money out of it, that I'll probably gonna be using to buy either a bed, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to keep my bed. It depends on how telling my parents that I'm leaving the house will go, but that's a future me problem. That's a September me problem. They didn't know I'm leaving, by the way. I think I didn't mention that. I didn't tell them, and I don't plan on telling them until I already have a place. I already moved at least my computer and the iPad and like what I need to work, a few of my clothes, and like things they are not gonna notice, but that I need, and that I already paid rent for that place, and probably will have someone with a car waiting for me in case something goes bad. It might not happen, I might just be being dramatic, but I genuinely don't know how it's gonna go. So I don't plan on telling them until I can, in case it goes bad, I can leave right that second. But telling them like I'm leaving in a week, so I have time to get the car to move my bed, if I can keep my bed, which I really hope I can. I want my typewriter. I love my typewriter, and that thing is heavy as fuck. Like I can't move that in the bus. I need a car. So yeah. Going back to the what was I talking about? I went on a tangent and I totally forgot how I got here. I literally had to go back and check what I was saying to remember I was talking about a possible fan sign. What I want to do is I want to take that story, because it's gonna be short-ish for my standards. I tend to write very long stuff, very long stuff. So having the limit of 10k, it's very useful. Also the fact that it's fanfic, it's gonna be easier to market than if it was an original stuff. And I'm thinking of publishing it in AO3, and upload here and on Instagram, like the process of making the book. So that means making illustrations for the sign slash book. I'm gonna be using those like interchangeable. I'm gonna need to do the cover. I'm gonna need to do illustrations because I want to have. I've been sketching like a few ideas that I have for a few pages that I will like. I haven't finished even writing the story, but once I finish it, I would like it to have some illustrations here and there, and I will have to double check like spelling, grammar, that kind of stuff. And that will be like the product that I will be marketing and selling. And first, that's I hope that's gonna give me visibility. Second, that's gonna generate some sort of income. And third, it's gonna be like a good experiment to know how it will be to self-publish and how it will be to work on a book. Of course, I'm gonna be doing this by myself, with myself, and probably a couple of friends. I'm not saying this is gonna be the exact same thing as having an editorial experience, but I can show that. And I can say, like, look, I did this in InDesign, that is the industry standard. I did the mockup for the illustrations and the text. I know how to, I don't know, do the technical stuff that I'm gonna learn in this process. That's a way to keep my art alive while I worked at the call center and make money and find like something that gives me enough to eat, to pay the bills, to keep kimchi healthy and myself. Kimchi and myself healthy. And it's not a permanent thing. It's something that it's gonna take time, of course. Probably a lot of it. But at the same time, it's something that it's helping me support myself. It's something that's paying the bills. And that it's gonna help me get out of a toxic environment so I can keep growing and I can keep moving forward and I can improve my relationship, hopefully with my parents and with myself. Because despite everything, and a part of me hates this, but despite everything, I don't think I want to cut relationships with them. Like, I like the idea of having loving parents, and being able to call them and be like, hey, Dad, I love you, and be honest and not say it just because I have to, for him not to yell at me or get violent or aggressive. And it sucks. It really sucks, the situation right now. And I'm not even sure that a healthy relationship with my parents is possible where they are willing to respect my boundaries. Because I don't think they understand that having a boundary is healthy. And I think they believe that because they are my parents, they have the right to do whatever they want with me. And that's not it. That's not it. I'm fortunate enough that I found people, wonderful, wonderful people. I really can't be more grateful for my friends. I found wonderful people that are not only willing to love me, but they've shown me what really unconditional love looks like. And it took me more than 20 years to find what true love looked like, what true unconditional love looked like. Because I didn't grow up with that. I didn't grow up with love that was not conditioned by my grades, by the way I act, by the way I talk, by how well I did at the school or in that specific thing they wanted me to do. And then out of nowhere, these wonderful people appeared and they were like, we love you because you're you. And I'm like, shit, that's that's an option? That was an option? Fuck! And like, I knew I didn't like the way I was loved by my family. So I made it like a personal goal to try to love people the way I wanted to be loved. I never, never expected people to love me back in that way. And it's wild. It's wild to me to be in this beautiful community, to have found these amazing friends that are willing to help me, and that if I tell them I don't want to be touched, they're not gonna touch me. And if I tell them I need a moment right now, please leave me alone, they're gonna leave me alone. Like I know that's basic respect. I didn't knew that was an option until like 3 years ago. And I want I want a healthy relationship with my parents. If they are willing to have a healthy relationship with me, a healthy relationship where they are not gonna get mad if I tell them I don't want to hug right now, or where they're not gonna get mad if they want me to do one thing and I don't do it, and a relationship where they cannot scream at me or be aggressive or be violent or threatening. If we can manage to have a relationship like without all of that, I want it. And that's like my dream. I have no idea if that thing is possible. And that scares the shit out of me. That's fucking scary, honestly. But I honestly believe that me not economically depending on them, it's gonna take the power they have to be abusive, and it's gonna give me the power to leave if they become abusive. And by this I mean that when I leave the house, I genuinely plan to, well, first calm down, because I'm not sure how emotionally charged I'm gonna be, because I have no idea how leaving the house is gonna go. But I really hope that after some time to like process living alone, because I know I'm gonna need to process that and adapt, I'm gonna be able to talk to them and tell them, I want to talk to you because I think we have to solve a lot of issues we have as a family, but these are my limits. If you don't respect my limits, I'm leaving. You can also set limits. You can tell me you can't do this, this, and that, and we can talk and negotiate. And we can find a way that everyone feels respected and safe in this conversation and in this environment. But if you don't respect my limits, I'm leaving. And that at the moment they start getting aggressive, I want to say, I am feeling attacked. Please calm down. Or something like that. Like, I'm gonna have to do a script. Like, this is just brainstorming right now. But telling them something like, you are raising your voice and I am feeling attacked. Please stop that or I'm gonna leave. And if they continue or if they get even more aggressive, just, okay, let me know when you calm down and we can continue with this conversation, and get up and leave. That's not a luxury I have right now. That's not an option I have right now. And I think it will be amazing to have it. I think it will be healthy to have it. Because in Colombia, we had this idiom that says, have the pan by the handle, tener el sartén por el mango, which means you can handle the pan, you can handle whatever situation you're in because you have the advantage. I don't have the handle of the pan. I don't. I am the one being fried in that pan. So I really hope that this can lead us to a healthy relationship, and eventually, in probably a couple years, first I want to be able to make a full-time living out of my art and probably travel a lot. I will like that. And have a family. Even if that family is not related by blood, I think community it's something super important. If my community can include my family, like my mom and my dad, amazing. If it can't, it won't. Because I have to be my first priority and I have to be there for me. Because if I am not there for me, nobody's gonna be. So, yeah, that's a bit of what's going on. I think it's TMI. But I'm gonna share it anyway. If you found anything of this useful or relatable, or you like my editing style or my art and you want to hire me, I'm gonna leave my information down. You can subscribe, you can share this video. Let me know if anything of what I shared resonated with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.